Today I want to talk a little bit about hypochondria, also known as health anxiety. I feel like it's a topic that a lot of people have heard about, or at least have some kind of preconceived notions of, but don't actually know what it's like to experience it, or don't understand how it actually affects people. So I'm gonna kind of define it for you, tell you about some misconceptions, talk about my experience with hypochondria. Probably gonna make a second video or a second part that is going to be how to cope with hypochondria or how to deal with hypochondria, and what to do if it gets really bad, and or if you're just dealing with it every day, how to kind of get through every day dealing with health anxiety. I'm going to just start by explaining what hypochondria is. Hypochondria is defined as abnormal anxiety about one's health, especially with an unwarranted fear that one has a serious disease. Usually what hypochondria looks like is someone constantly checking WebMD or other websites, or going to the doctor a lot and asking to get a bunch of different tests done. And if those tests are run and they come back negative, a lot of times they'll just go to another doctor and get the same tests done because they don't trust that the doctor is telling them the truth, or more likely don't trust that the doctor got it right and that somehow they got it wrong, or the test came back with a false negative, so they want to get that done again. So that's a lot of time and money that goes into having health anxiety, and it often results in having panic attacks. A lot of people with hypochondria often actually feel the symptoms that they're describing. A lot of times it's because anxiety has so many different symptoms. There's a crazy number of symptoms of anxiety. When people are looking up different diseases on WebMD, they'll see the different signs, and kind of placebo effect, it starts they start noticing that in their body. So it is an actual pain that you feel, if that makes any sense, even though it's probably just anxiety and not actually a disease that's going to kill you, but whatever. Health anxiety and hypochondria can range from only sometimes showing up in a person's life and not really affecting their life that much, to the other end where it's just constantly affecting their lives. They have constant panic attacks and can't work or go to school or really do anything at all. I'm just going to talk about my experience a little bit now, because it might be a little different from other people with hypochondria, because I also have panic disorder. I don't know. I've recovered a lot since initially kind of the first time that I had hypochondria, or experienced it. Now I do kind of deal with it on a regular basis, but it's really easy to rationalize away. I know that I'm healthy. I know that generally it's fine. When I initially experienced it, I was having basically constant panic attacks for 3 or 4 months, and I had to take a semester off of school because I couldn't deal with doing schoolwork or really being away from home for that often. I did work though during that time, but I had to call in a lot because I would be having pretty severe panic attacks every day. It can really affect your life depending on the severity of it. The best way to describe it, if you have never experienced hypochondria or health anxiety, is if you've ever been in a near-death experience where you 100% believed that you were going to die, definitely, that you were definitely this was it. That's kind of what it feels like, but always for a long time. So it is a pretty serious mental illness to go through. Unfortunately, people who have not experienced hypochondria often have preconceived notions of what it is, and usually don't think it's very serious just because the way that it's portrayed in the media. And oftentimes that's the only place you're going to experience that, or see someone who deals with hypochondria. Typically, hypochondria is portrayed as a joke or used for comedic relief in a show or a movie or whatever type of media we're talking about. I don't know if you guys have ever watched the show Royal Pains on USA, but it's, I mean, usually the shows that hypochondria is portrayed in are like doctor shows, medical shows, that kind of thing. But so in Royal Pains, there's a character who is a hypochondriac, and she's in quite a few episodes, and she's kind of always brushed off, and he's just constantly like, don't check WebMD, and that's like about it, all he does for her. I have a clip from Scrubs. So we have this clip.
Mr. Corman, you've joined us yet again, and what imaginary disease is ailing you this time, my good man?
This time he thinks he has the Yaba virus.
Your hair got longer, and I don't appreciate your tone.
Last month you thought you had familial Mediterranean fever.
I was at my friend Kelly Papadopoulos' wedding, okay? I share a glass of ouzo with this guy named Janos. 20 minutes later, I'm in a cab. I gotta ask the guy to pull over because I'm gonna explode in some guy's rose garden. Now, what would you think?
Same thing I think right now. That you got yourself a bad case of the wish you were six.
Yeah, well, I read the symptoms on the internet, okay? I have Yaba.
The doctor is really condescending towards him, kind of angry as well, and he's just kind of brushes him off and tells him to leave. And although, like, obviously, like, what this guy thinks he has, he definitely doesn't have it. But instead of, like, offering the guy mental health support and, like, telling him to go to a psychiatrist, he just kind of tells him to leave and just has the nurse do a normal checkup or whatever. He's just kind of brushed aside and no one really helps him. It is kind of supposed to be comedic relief, so it's like comedy, but also it does, the portrayal of people with hypochondria does actually influence people who actually have hypochondria, because oftentimes people just brush it off because they don't think it's very serious and don't understand that it is a really, like, scary thing to go through. So yeah, hypochondria is real and terrifying. So look out for my next video where I talk more about how to deal with hypochondria, how to cope when everything is horrifying and you believe that you're dying of a serious disease. Comment below if you have hypochondria, or if you know someone who has hypochondria, or you've experienced something completely different from me, or you've experienced the same thing as me. It's whatever. Comment below. Do a thing. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe, unsubscribe, dislike. Yeah. Do whatever you want, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.